Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. Two new figures to look at today from JoyToy. This is from their military series. We have a Ranger. Doesn't specify what army, what country, so I'm guessing USA. They're famous for their Rangers. And PLA, which is normally a Chinese, and it's the Strategic Support Group. So two new action figures to look at here. Let's look at the back of the boxes. Load of options with the Ranger. You can see it comes with, it looks like 4 guns, so 3 main guns on the sidearm, his pistol, 2 sets of turret hands, his knuckles, and then with the PLA again we got 4 main guns on the sidearm, and again we've got the 2 pairs of additional arms, and both appear to be over the shoulder and hold their main weapons well, which is a good plus. And similar poses, kneeling down, aiming, etc., shooting. I'm quite looking forward to this. It's been a while since JoyToy put out military series figures, so this should be pretty cool. Please support me on Patreon, the link in the top right of your screen now. You can watch all the videos for free. You can cancel anytime in 7 days, will not cost you pennies. It is worth checking out. Okay, I'm going to pause this, set them up, I'll be back in an instant. Stay tuned. And here they both are set up in the same or very similar positions. Things to note just straight off the bat from having their little play setting them up is the PLA is easier to pose and to shoulder the gun. It's practically shouldering, they're not quite, whereas the Ranger's not. The butt is not into his shoulder, but it's much closer on the PLA. Anyway, we'll come back to that and articulation later. Let's see what they come with. We'll start with the Ranger. So he has this gun here. So anyone knows about guns, let's try and get a focus. You can say what the guns are as we go along. It's a plain black with a touch of dry brushing. Next gun looks like sort of, I won't say an M16, sort of a little bit like an M16, but not an M16 with a grenade launcher. Hardly any dry brushing on this side, but sort of much heavier on the other side. Then he has his sidearm, his pistol. Nice looking pistol there. He has his night vision, which just plugs into his helmet. And then he comes standard open left hand, trigger right hand. And he comes with gripping. Should be gripping left and right. There we go. And he comes with fist left and right too. Now I didn't see any knives on either of them. I'll have a closer look in a second. Then we come to our PLA. He comes with this gun here, like a machine gun. Another gun here. We've seen this one before. Then another similar looking gun, slightly let's have a look at that. Again, very similar looking. There are some small differences. And then his pistol is here. Oops. And interestingly, he came with default right fist, left gripping. Well, I changed over his right to the trigger. He also has a right open and a different left gripping. And then he comes with his left and right fist. Okay, let's get a close look at the figures and the other things, other details. This is the other gun that the Ranger has. It's pretty cool. It's not a bad head sculpt there. Pretty decent. It took a bit of time to pose compared to the PLA. PLA was a lot quicker. There's no knife that I can see in these guys. Both have holsters on the leg which have these straps on here, and these straps are going to make articulation difficult in some, or make some postures difficult to articulate nicely, because it limits the thigh articulation. I could do this better if I got lined up his wrist correctly. Then you could hold that better, equally well as the PLA figure. Either, as you can see, it's not really to his shoulder. It's okay from this angle if he's sort of got his hand on it, you know. But not a bad looking figure. Then the PLA, he has this gun here, which is practically shoulder, not quite, but near close enough. He looks pretty damn cool. I prefer him to the Ranger, I think. I'm not sure about the lipstick going on there. Very nice again. Also, he has a leg holster where he should be able to store his sidearm as well. There we go. But another very nice looking 1/18 scale action figure. Very cool. Okay, let's get them both straightened out and we'll have a look at articulation. Let's take their guns out. We'll start with our Ranger first. Nice diff joints, I have to say. Now bear in mind, you take off the vest and all the other little paraphernalia and whatnot, and they become a lot easier to pose. Okay, so let's start with his head. Left, right, up, down, side to side. Fantastic head articulation. Shoulders all the way around, goes out a little bit because of the sculpt on the shirt there. Above 90 on the arms, which is absolutely fantastic. Bicep, let's have a look. It's getting over 90. That's going to depend on the angle of the arm, obviously. And the other arm should be the same, a little bit over 90 or around about 90. He has got a trunk, but it's sort of hidden beneath his vest, but he can turn, he can dip forwards, backwards, not really side to side, and he should have a separate waist where he can turn. So together, dip forwards is okay, backwards is not bad, sideways is, yeah, hardly at all. On the hands, it's a joint, you've got to line up the joint, but you can turn. Once you've found where the joint is, there we go, you can move the hand accordingly. So you can line up to do a gun articulation instead of a wave articulation you want. Hips will be an issue, especially with his gun in the holster. You see that one leg goes quite far, and one leg, because the sculpting on the strapping doesn't go particularly far. There's a thigh twist. Forwards is good on, was alright on his left leg, and it's alright, small but okay on his left leg too, going backwards. Get a bit of a hip gap there. But the right leg with the holster and those straps to the belt, really going to limit articulation in that leg. Knees are a double kneecap, not too ugly, very, very tight, which is awesome. And then the feet, there is a boot turn. There's a tippy toe, there's a dorsiflexation, there is toe articulation, and he get a small swivel in and a small swivel out. So the lower body's better than the upper body, I'd say, for well, rephrase that. The ankles are great for articulation, upper body's okay. Just the hips, particularly with these straps joining onto the belt, really limit articulation. And these are legs, his thighs. Okay, our PLA, let's see how he does. So, head, forwards, backwards, side to side, turn, very good. Shoulders again, all the way around. And he's getting not quite as far as the Ranger, he's getting flat. Bicep is over 90. This bicep here is about 90, it's about the same. His vest is a lot looser, so you get more movement in his trunk than the Ranger. Forwards, backwards, side to side in turn. The waist, there's forwards, backwards, you can dip side to side and turn. So together, forwards is much better, backwards is much better, and sideways is much better. The hands are the same as the Ranger. Line them up and then you can get whatever articulation you want. Hips, you have the same issue. Don't go too far because these things that are attached to the belts. forwards, I'd say probably worse than the Ranger. And this leg, yeah, not as good as the Rangers, I would have said on that. There is a thigh cut. Again, you've got these little straps which are going to prevent that being as good as it could be. You have double kneecap, again, super tight. His kneecaps aren't ugly, that pad, so that's pretty cool. Does he have a boot turn? No boot turn on him. Different system for the feet. So he has a swivel in, swivel out. He has a tippy toe, very good tippy toe. Okay, dorsiflexation, but he doesn't have toe articulation. When I said turn, it's just going to do this with the foot. It's not a proper turn. So I would say that the Ranger's got the upper hand on the sort of the feet and maybe the legs, but he's got the upper hand on articulation on the upper body. So let's get an idea of how tall our figures are. We expect to be around a 10.5 to 11 cm height. So here we have to the top of the head, it's just under 11. This is about 10.5, and I said this one again, around 10.5. So about the same height for both of them, which is pretty cool. How do they compare to other figures? Well, I don't have any soldiers with me at the moment. I do, but not what we want to see. You know, I'll use it later on. But compared to a Diamond Oval Legends Cowboy, scale perfectly well. Compared to a Soldier Force from Chap Me figure, again, they scale well as you would expect. If I use a Planet Green Valley robot minus the head, so I picked up just the body, except the Planet Green Valley robot is going to be a touch bigger. Get him to stand up straight first. A touch taller, particularly if he had a head. But they do all scale well together. Nice couple of figures from JoyToy, particularly since they're military and we haven't had any military stuff for a little while. So I think it's a great release and good timing to have them to match in with the other stuff that we like, such as the 40k and the Jianghu, and now we got this lovely military stuff to go with. That's a better shot there, I think. Too far. Let's come backwards a bit. Okay, this is Awesome Action Toys. I'm signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next video. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.